Hey everyone, Nickel and Diamond it here again. Today we're going to do a project that I've been interested to do since I got this truck, and we're going to do a swap with a Raptor steering wheel. It looks like that, which is a whole lot nicer, a whole lot meatier than the stock steering wheel. So, first step is going to be disconnect the negative battery terminal. The second step for this is actually going to involve removing the airbag, which is going to require something like an Allen key. And there's a spot on three sides of the steering wheel. You can see one here, you can see one here, and there's one underneath. Let's see if I can get a good look at it. So right there we go, right here. So you apply a little pressure on the clip that's inside there, inserting the Allen key, and then by pushing it in, you see the airbag pop up like that. That's what you're wanting. So you do that on all three sides, and as the airbag pops up and out, you can then gain access to the connectors on the back side of the steering, of the airbag, and the connectors for, there we go, little force required for that one. You can gain access to the connectors that are on the back side, which you can see here. So it's three connectors you're going to have to pull off of the wheel, because it looks like it's a little more difficult to try and disconnect it there. So. Okay, that's with the airbag removed. So there's two clips on either side of these two connectors, and one on this side that you have to depress, and you want to set the airbag facing up just in the event that it deploys. There really should be no reason to. A lot of the modern airbags are internally grounded to themselves such that it's really hard to set them off by static shock. That doesn't mean it's impossible, so if you're just that unlucky or always walking in front of black cats or something, then you might want to be careful about that. So the next step for this part, since there's no other connectors that I can see involved, is going to be taking loose this hub nut, or hub bolt rather. This hub bolt is a T50, and you'll want to brace the steering wheel either with your hand or maybe with your knees as you try and loosen it, because it's fairly snug. Not quite like 100 foot-pound snug, but it's in there pretty good, especially if it's never been removed. So you'll just want to be mindful of that. If the controls are different between the steering wheel you're trying to install and the steering wheel that you have now, don't fret. All you need to do is apply a little pressure this direction on these clips. You apply it this direction to get them to release, and then pull them out, and then you just start placing either a pry bar, a cat claw, or some other tool in behind it, and you start pulling this direction away from the wheel, and that will allow you to release both sides. Then looks like, depending on how this works out, we may have to remove these torque screws to get the back plate out of the way so that we can switch over controls, so that we can take the Raptor steering wheel and make sure it matches the same trim level that's your truck currently. This is the mechanism that you'll be fighting. It's these barbs that are set into these holes in the steering wheel. So you'll want to pry away from the connector part and try and get in up under either side of the connector. But yeah, fairly straightforward. So these Torx head screws are in there with quite a bit of torque. I had to use my old standby to get them to come off, which is a vice grip and a Torx screwdriver. You just want to make sure to apply downward pressure on the screwdriver while you're trying to turn it, so that you don't risk stripping out the head. But yeah, once you've got them broken loose, they should come out. Once the screws are out, this plate can come out, and now you have access to all of the attachment points for your harness. And it looks like the horn button is also perhaps wired in with the harness for all of your sync connected stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty fun. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to remove that last Torx screw and do the same for my original steering wheel and swap this stuff over. Here I've swapped in the other harness. You can see that I now have the other controls in. I found that when you go to swap these controls over, it's actually easier to kind of set it in at a diagonal angle and then use your hand over the whole thing to just kind of snap it into place by feel. So that was a pro tip for the day. Then make sure you don't forget your horn ground screw, or maybe that's just a harness ground screw, and then you're going to reconnect your controls on either side after you finish routing the wires in their holes, all of the retaining grommets and things. And once you've done that, you can put the plate back on, and yeah, then you're ready to put the airbag back in and reconnect power and drive off into the sunset. I've also already torqued this nut, because this is now the last time, or this Torx head bolt rather, because this is now the last time that it will be out. So yeah, then you'll get to have a feel of what your new Raptor steering wheel feels like, and I can tell you it's much better than stock. Reconnect the airbag and the horn wire, and then set the airbag in place and lock it in. Make sure both sides are locked in, and you have yourself a new Raptor steering wheel on your non-Raptor F150. Congratulations, you have now cheated the system. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe or dislike if you're one of those folks, and come back for more great content. Thanks.